Hello traders, today was day number 58 of the small cap market open test trading, and we did take a trade today. It was a nice one and done day, so we have 68 trades now, and I'll show you exactly the trade that I took. And there was an error on my part because I had been messing around with my hotkeys yesterday and forgot to set them back to the proper settings, and I'm going to show you what happened and how I resolve it, because it took me a moment to remember what to do in this scenario, because it just doesn't happen very often. I normally have my hotkeys set up properly. I'm going to show you that right now just to remind you guys. If I go over to my hotkey settings here, active trade settings. So this is my hotkey that I use to place these orders whenever I'm taking these test trades on the small cap stocks. Right now, since we're test trading, I'm only using one single share, but you can change this to a percent of your account or a dollar value, $100 or $10 or $500, whatever you want to do. But right now, since we're test trading, just one single share. These are the order types, limit. We're set to buy the ask. This is our limit offset and time and force day, extended hours no. And this is really the key to this trading system, is the stop loss and take profit order. And this is the hotkey that I use to apply the trade, or to enter the trade. So let's take a look at the video now, and I'll show you what happened and how I resolved the issue that I caused myself. So first, let me also show you the trade that I took. So we were looking at FNKO. It was on the screener. And let me show you here. I've got the screener. So this is at like 932 or something. FNKO is very high on the screener with a decent percent change, and it's over 500,000 shares right at the open. So that's a strong sign. But it never really did anything or got anywhere near to triggering our trade. So I recorded this whole session live, and I'm going to post it on Patreon if you're interested in seeing that. I also talked about the market conditions and the trend that we're in right now and how that's affecting the small cap stock sector. So there's more information on those videos always, and just good trading advice, hopefully good trading advice. It's the best I can give. And WTI was the stock that triggered our entry. So it kind of popped up right as it was giving our setup on the screener. So you'll see when I pulled it up on the chart here. Let's see here. So let's find it on the screener. Here it is, WTI. So you can see that it's meeting our volume requirement, and it's just under 5% here. If it bounced back up, then obviously it's going to be at our 5% requirement. So we're taking a look at it on the chart here in just a moment. First, I have to check the daily chart. So I'm going to change this to 2 charts so we can keep an eye on FNKO. Just make sure I'm not muted right now. Good. Okay. So yeah, there's WTI, and obviously meeting our daily chart criteria. The SMA is way down there. And now we just have to mark out the previous session high and previous day high. So this is the previous session high, which could be from the pre-market, aftermarket, previous day. And then this is the first high of day, which just happens to be like 1 cent above that. That's just the way it goes sometimes. And this first high of day after the previous session high, I should specify that. Obviously, there's other highs before that. Then I'm looking for the second high of day. That's right here. And then I enter on the pullback, the first 1 minute candle that makes a new high. I just noticed this now. I missed this entry back here. I didn't realize it during the live trade, and that would have failed, obviously. But that is, let's see, I just want to make sure if it opened here. Well, you know, it would have definitely failed no matter what, because there's only 2 possible scenarios here. If I would have gotten triggered for the break of this 1 minute candle, my stop loss would have went 1 cent below here. So I would have gotten stopped out here, most likely. And then my second entry would have been back here, and that trade worked out. So it still would have been a profitable day. It would have been a 1-hour day, but it's actually a 2-hour day just because I missed that. But in the spreadsheet, I'm going to record it as a 1-hour day. I'm going to record that first trade that I should have taken but missed. That way we know that our statistics that we're tracking are accurate. So this is a mistake that I'm just realizing right now, that I missed the first entry. And this makes sense according to our statistics, because we know that our first trade should fail about 25% of the time, right? So that means that it's only going should fail 75% of the time. It's only going to work 25% of the time. So that makes sense that our first entry was triggered and we got stopped out. Then this is the actual entry we took, and this is one of the mistakes I made. You can see I have 8 shares here because I had my hotkeys all messed up, and I don't have a stop loss and take profit out. So that was another big mistake. And then I started putting things in manually, and that doesn't work very well. I'll show you the proper way to deal with this. If you make a mistake like this with your hotkeys, that's my alarm to tell me to stop trading, which we've already stopped. So the best thing to do is to go over to positions. Looks like we just missed it there. Let me back it up a little bit. Okay, so now if you have a position and you don't have a stop loss or take profit order and you want to place one, I'm about to show you here. So click on positions. I didn't do it yet. There we go. I clicked on positions. WTI is the position that we want to set the stop loss and take profit. So you're going to click close position and then close by stop loss take profit. This is really important. If you accidentally place an order, and I think one time I had my hotkey set up properly and it didn't give me the stop loss take profit, it just gave me the position, so I had to do this anyway. So this is a really important trick to know. So now you'll see once I place this order, the stop loss and take profit are in place just as they would be normally when I have my hotkey set up properly. So let's take a look now. So at this point, the trade is all done. The stop loss is in place, the profit target is in place, and all we have to do is let the trade play out. So a couple other interesting things happened here. When so the profit target got hit, it was getting tapped. And if the bid doesn't come up to 553, or if there's not enough orders, whatever place that I'm in line, you can see here a bunch of 552s and then a 553 in white. So that's not going to trigger. There's a couple thousand shares there at 553, but there might have been a few thousand shares ahead of me. So we're just tapping that 553. That's going to happen sometimes. The volume was pretty light on these candles relative to back here. Look at all this volume. So it's not surprising that I got tapped a few times but didn't get filled. In that scenario, you still have to hold strong. You have to stick to the plan always. Just leave your profit target in place. Don't move it down. Otherwise, you're going to screw up your statistics, because we're holding the 2R right now. And if we don't get 2R, then we don't want anything to do with the trade. So, all right. Now, let's fast forward here. So I got tapped again. Still, this is a great test of discipline. You got to see this happen. You have to just wait and watch and just let it do its thing, or don't watch. You've got the orders out there, so you don't need to worry. And I was just looking at the volume here. All right, so now I'm going to get filled here in just a moment. Yeah, there it is. Let me just back it up and show you in real time. So 553, and there I get filled. So yeah, that's going to happen sometimes when there's not a lot of volume traded in the stock, and there's not a lot right now in the small cap market, even though that was near the top of the screener when it was organized by volume. That's just the market that we're in right now. But all the more reason that you really need to be careful and disciplined and stick to your plan, because you don't want to screw up your statistics. So again, technically this was a one and done 2R day, but on my spreadsheet, it's going to be recorded as the second trade, and the first trade failed, because that's really what we should have done, and I missed that trade. So didn't realize it until I made this recap. And that also shows you the importance of recapping your trades or reviewing your trades and making sure that you really did do everything right. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, let me know if you have any questions. The trading plan that I'm following is available on patreon.com/tradingarmor. I always put a link in the description to that. My trading calculator's there, spreadsheets are there, all that stuff if you're interested. Otherwise, I always suggest that you have a plan going into every single trade. Let me just say one other thing, because I've seen this said a lot lately on other YouTube channels, because the market conditions are very drastically different than they've been in the past, say, couple of years. And you got these new traders that are kind of parroting what they hear other traders say, like you have to adapt to the market conditions as they are right now. And my problem with that is that if you're a new trader, you probably haven't even developed a plan, a strategy, tested it, proven it, that is capable of being profitable in any market condition. So if you haven't done that, you need to find one thing and stick to it and start testing it 100 trades in a row. And if it's profitable after 100 trades, then you can go full position size. If not, you really got nothing at this point. So to try and adapt to a market and trade full position size when you really haven't proven anything is extremely dangerous and really just gambling. So just because the market is selling off doesn't mean that you should short everything. And unless you've already taken 100 short trades in a row doing the exact same thing every single trade, and you've proven a profitable system. So hopefully I'm getting the message across. No matter what, I'm going to say it one more time. Always go in every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.